Visceral fat, that's the bad fat. But is there any way to tell if you're getting rid of visceral fat without having a smart scale? Well, I'm here to show you, yes, there is. So stay with me and find out. What if I told you your body's giving you all kinds of real-time information as to whether you're burning visceral fat or not, and you either didn't know about it or you're just completely ignoring it? Well, I'm here to show you what those indicators are that your body's showing you. So stay with me. Here we go. Well, for some of you out there who don't know, there are two kinds of fat we have. We have subcutaneous and visceral. The subcutaneous is the stuff you can squeeze around the belly. You know, it's just kind of under the skin fat. And it's just, you know, belly fat. But then underneath that is something called visceral fat. And visceral fat is the bad stuff because it wraps around all your organs and it actually messes with your metabolism. Yeah, visceral fat is metabolically active. It secretes inflammatory compounds, disrupts insulin signaling, and is strongly linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. In other words, it's got a lot of poisons in there. The good thing, visceral fat is actually more responsive to diet and exercise than subcutaneous. So when you're burning fat, you're going to burn visceral fat first and then subcutaneous fat second. So let's see what are some of the signals that you're burning visceral fat. Well, there's a word you're going to need to know. It's called autophagy. And autophagy basically means when your body runs out of external fuel, like food, what's it going to do? It's going to start burning internal fuel. In other words, it's going to work on, your body's going to work on kind of like eating itself. And autophagy, that's exactly what it means, in that the first thing it's going to look for, your body's going to look for to burn is fat, and it's going to look at visceral fat. You get autophagy started? Fasting after about 16 to 24 hours. You can have a caloric restriction over multiple days. High intensity exercise. Low carbohydrate input. Getting plenty of sleep. So, you know, sleep is a big part of this. All right, so what's the first indicator that you are in autophagy? It's that ammonia smell. You know, you've done a workout, you've run, you've gone to the gym, and when you take a pee, that pee smells like ammonia. Or you've got a good sweat going on a treadmill or even a run or whatever, and you smell ammonia. And you know it's not, you know, you've taken a bath, you've taken a shower, it's not just, it's something different. Well, that ammonia smell in your urine and in your sweat is the first indicator that you're in autophagy and you're burning visceral fat. Now, the second way to tell you're burning visceral fat is what's called Grelin hunger. It's G-H-R-E-L-I-N, hunger. It's a metabolic hunger versus a craving hunger. The metabolic hunger is kind of mild and it's just there and it's steady. Your stomach just feels, how can I put it, empty. And you don't have any kind of specific food in mind. And the interesting thing with this kind of metabolic hunger is you have clarity of mind and you usually have a lot of energy. And it diminishes with exercise. And you know that when you're in this kind of hunger, you feel good. It's a good hunger versus a craving, which is you know, you have a craving for a certain food and sometimes it's not so good. So there's two different kinds of hunger. The metabolic is good. The other one is more a craving, which, you know, those aren't that good either. But let's see what we can do with this. Now here's the interesting thing. If you exercise or become active during a mild grayling hunger, instead of grabbing something to eat, you amplify fat oxidation. You extend the autophage window, keeping cellular recycling going longer, and you suppress grayling temporarily, though through movement. Exercise naturally blunts hunger hormones. So, you've all been there. You're a little bit hungry, you start to exercise, and then you're not hungry anymore. So this is perfect. So if you wake up in the morning and you get that little bit of hunger, if you go for a walk first, you'll burn so much more fat than if you eat first and then go for a walk. So be aware of this and see if it works for you. So to bring it all together, the three signs you're looking for is that when you turn autophagy is on and is active, you're fasting, you're in a caloric deficit. That's a good time to train and burn off that fat. And if you did it the right way, you will have sweat or urine that's going to smell like ammonia. And the third sign is being able to manage that grayling hunger, that little bit of craving that gets you, but that goes away with exercise. That means that you're in the right stage. So know that the autophagy is active. You're in a deficit. And if you get that smell in your urine or ammonia, it's working. And you feel that little bit of hunger, not famished, but that little bit of hunger that goes away when you exercise. You're in the sweet spot, okay? So you can burn that visceral fat without a $400 smart scale if you know what you're doing. Your body is an extraordinary instrument, and it will tell you what to listen for if you know how to listen. And it will help you with everything you need to do to get rid of that visceral fat. So hopefully this video helped a little bit. And those of you who don't have a smart scale, you can still get there. Just know that, autophagy, look it up. Know the grayling factor, look it up. And know what happens when you get that weird workout where all of a sudden you're like, man, I kind of stink. Know that stink means you're getting there. So I'll keep posting if you keep watching. Thank you very much. Bye.